Alright, another live stream. Today is March 3, Tuesday. I was expecting price to come to this gap, but I didn't want to see it coming to this gap right with the market open, because I do not trade this exact volatility, but that's fine. I'm pretty sure price will show us something else, some good setups. I don't know. We will see. Let me open this over here. It would be nice to see a retracement before this level. I believe that price is coming here today without probably without taking out this low over here. Maybe not even this low. But I would like to see a sweep below this low. If price sweeps this and goes back higher, then I can look for a long setup towards this level. That would be nice. Now I have got a conflicting information. Why? Because on the regular trade hours, price already hit this level. So I want to adjust my indicator to show me the RTH weekend gaps too, and go back to electronic chart. Now this yellowish gap over here is the RTH weekly gap. Price tapped the RTH weekly gap, left an engulfing candle, but I still believe we might see just another tap towards this electronic trade hour gap. Okay, this is the electronic trade hour. It shows us all of the trading sessions, including Asia, London, etc. And when we go into regular trade hours, it only shows us between 4:14 and 9:30, the regular trade hours. So currently I will be more cautious about this long. I mean, if price didn't hit the RTH gap either, I would be more convicted in this long setup, long idea, and I would most likely jump in after price turning back inside the range. But right now I will be a little cautious. Alright, now let me open my trading platform. This is a simulated trading account. Good morning, Giovanni. Good morning, brother Hercules. Gökhan Demirkan. Gökhan Bey merhaba, hoş geldiniz. Mr. Everglow, good morning, man. Welcome. Andrea Kosic. Hey, do I pronounce your name correctly? Is it Andrea? Good morning, everyone. All right. Are we logged in here? Yes. Yesterday I took some trades with this account without you guys, and I really traded silly once again. But size was small, I didn't blow up anything. Took a little profits, but it was a guilty profits and I regret it. It gets more difficult without you guys. Okay. Price hit the most extreme point. Let's make it support. Turn back to 1 minute. Suspicious. I will check ES. Remove everything on regular trade hours and electronic trade hours. On regular it looks like this. Alright. And on electronic couldn't hit this level either. Since Nasdaq hit this level, this RTH weekly gap, RTH weekend gap, I will be more cautious because when I reconsider everything, price might want to come back to this level on after a midweek reversal. I mean, when I think about the daily profiles I have been observing in the last 3 years, I now think about this possibility: either price keep going lower on Tuesday and making a low maybe on Wednesday and reversing higher and then coming back to the gap on Thursday. If you have been joining the live streams, we actually took short trades like that last week when price was around here. On Thursday we targeted this old daily old weekend gap. We targeted this one over here. It was a nice short setup, and now I am just careful. Normally I wouldn't look at 15-second charts when price is looking like this, looking like it is consolidating. But right now I just opened my 15-second chart to see if price creates a fractal liquidity sweep, something like that. Now this is the tap. I want to see a higher high. If you focus on this range over here, this range, there's a little tap over here and price comes back inside the range. And if you focus on micro picture, this is the little range, this is the little tap, price expanded, retracement back, took out the tap and the origin point with this 200 simple moving average. Seems like turning back higher, but right now it doesn't look good for longs because it immediately came back. If it did something like that, I mean, if this over here, if there was just a little higher high like that, I would be looking for a long setup, but right now I am still cautious and I'm waiting. Let me see ES. ES doesn't have a higher high as well, and ES looks even more bearish than Nasdaq. So let's keep waiting. I will mark the previous day low. I'm not going to mark previous day high yet. Price is currently on 200 simple moving average. Okay. I gotta fix this indicator, it doesn't work properly. Yeah, currently it is a waiting zone for me. But I would definitely take a combo setup. Something like that on 1 minute chart. By the way, 15-second idea already invalidated before even price created that, right? Before, this is the good thing about that fractal liquidity sweep idea. I mean, if price is really weak, it immediately reverses back lower without creating that higher high. So since it reverses back lower without creating the higher high, it is just showing us the weakness on this pullback. So we don't just join it, we watch it, because we strictly want to see this pattern, especially if it is 15-second. If it is lower time frames, it is really important to see the pattern. There is a huge difference between this and this one. I definitely want to see this higher high forming before price sweeps the tap lows. If price is not creating that higher high, I'm not taking a setup, because it could be very well a V shape like that. Price takes another liquidity point and then turns back higher. Now I'm on 1 minute chart. I'm not going to enter. In the past, I used to trade the SBS like this. I would pick my tap low, okay? I would mark the tap low. I would mark the sequence. I wouldn't even mark it, I was already memorized it. I would mark the tap low, sweep, and I would immediately enter my long trade right here. Immediately open a long here. Right now, I only take this when there is a established, there is an established trend and strong momentum. If there is no momentum, I don't care about this one. There's always a possibility to see big reversal. I mean, to see price keep expanding lower right after it sweeps the entry, right? Also, there is a possibility to see a double bottom and then reversal. I wouldn't be surprised to see that price coming back, taking out, and then turning back again. Why? Because it is already consolidating. It is already slow. It doesn't have a momentum behind it. It doesn't have FOMO behind it, okay? Not everybody constantly clicking buy. Price is balanced. Some people clicking buy, some people clicking sell. And there is a balance between buyers and sellers. Balance of buy and sell volume. I think telling buyers and sellers are balanced is not exactly entirely true, but I think I should say balance between the buy and sell volumes. Yeah, it would be more precise, more technical. So when there's balance, price might seek yet another low, yet another liquidity before doing its thing, doing its stuff, okay? If there is already an imbalance, price becomes more reactive. For example, if price is bouncing real fast and then leaving a little low and then going higher and immediately taking that low, there is a higher chance to see price receives an instant reaction from that level. What does an instant reaction means? That means price might instantly turn back higher. Many people were asking me, stoic trader taught the SBS, and some people were asking me about this one. And this one. Okay. I wanna mention this real quickly. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people were thinking like this 5 is the yet another low, this lower low, this sweep over here. And they were asking me, sometimes price makes a 5 and sometimes it doesn't. But in fact, 5 is not this new low. 5 is the signal of this reversal over here. In my perspective, 5 is here. Let me make it blue. And over here, 5 is here. So 5 means reversal after the double bottom. And double bottom may form like this with a sweep or with a failed swing, right? So how do I consider this? Sometimes I take my trades just like this one. I enter my trade immediately after this sweep and turning back higher. And sometimes I trade like this. I wait yet another sweep. How do I decide it? I decide how to pick among these two by looking at the volume and the strong one-sidedness, imbalance. I look at and try to see if price is balanced or imbalanced. Right now, when I look at the price, I can easily say that this price is balanced. So if this price is balanced, I'm not going to rush for a long over here. I mean, there's always a possibility for price without going up without sweeping this one. For example, there are some pairs like NDX. Let me open another one. Yeah, open it. Sometimes we might see a divergence between Nasdaq and this one, this NDX or this Nasdaq Trust series, right? There's a possibility to see divergence with them or divergence with ES. I mean, there's always a possibility for price to ignore this context I created, right? Price might very well want to keep going back higher without sweeping this, even though it was consolidating. But I'm not looking for certainty. I'm looking for possibilities. And when I look at the balanced price action like that, when I look at consolidations or ranges like this one, I see this low is being swept more often. So I'm not rushing into taking a trade, right? Because I don't want to get stopped out for nothing. If this wants to keep going higher without giving me a setup, I mean without taking out this low, right? If price doesn't sweep this purple line over here and turns back higher, then I would look for something like that. A fractal sweep setup. Price always gives more than one opportunity. Even if it doesn't, I will just sit on my hands, watch what price does, and there are plenty of hours we can scalp here. And I really don't care about missing. If I am missing a trade today, then it means price didn't act in my favor. I mean, what I'm trying to say, if I am missing a trade, that means that there might be something weird about that particular day. And I don't want to get profits in the weird days. I don't want to get a surprise profit. That is the worst thing a trader can have. A profits and unexpected profits from acting undisciplined or from not caring about the probabilities, possibilities, right? Because that kind of stuff keeps us inside a loop. I mean, the reason we have bad trading habits is sometimes we get lucky profits with that bad habits. Sometimes we don't end up a losing day just because we overtraded, right? overtrading most of the times and in the long term always destroys our accounts. But in the short term, sometimes overtrading plays in our favor in that particular day. At least we feel like that. We could ended up with profits just because we kept on going, right? But that's the danger, because it creates it creates something similar to that slot machines. I mean, getting profits with undisciplined or gamble-like low-quality trades, or getting profits with unproductive trading habits is really dangerous, because it creates the same exact mechanics with the gambling addiction. I'll try one here. What's going on here? There is something wrong with rhythmic. Let me check this again. Okay, thanks to rhythmic, I missed this one. I'll wait a little. And as we can see right now, this one seems like playing out. Okay, it seems like it is coming back. I can now try my entry. It is probably going to take my entry from the place I want it to do. And I feel like the target for price is this high, which is this electronic trade hours weekly gap. If it doesn't, it will be a small stop loss. I only opened one micro. I will now start watching the price. I will add another one. If this takes out the stop loss, it will be a small loss, and I will keep watching the price. This was a mean reversion trade idea, not just an SPS, but also a mean reversion. I mean, I betted on price reversing back higher above this. And I will take my first partial. I gotta check my entry first. 12, 22. My stop loss is 32 points. Yeah, I can take my partial. My first partial on 32 points, which is 1142. 11 entries around here. 30 points is around here. You know what? I will put my first partial above this high. Oh, it took my stop loss. It didn't even bother me. Now price is making yet another low. That could mean two things. One, that could mean that my bias was wrong and price is going lower. And the other, man, it's too difficult to not see the price on the chart. Just give me a second. Oh, this is very interesting. Price didn't take the stop loss, but closed the position. This is weird. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter. I will put my buy stop order here. Sometimes rhythmic just sucks like that. I was mentioning this one. If after price making this double bottom with the sweep, if price comes back like this without turning back higher, that could mean two things. One is bias is wrong. This SPS is not going to play out. Two, price is really choppy and slow, and price wanted to make yet another low, a triple bottom below the below this step low. I currently feel like the second one is the case. I believe price might turn back higher from here. But the issue is I cannot see the chart. Let me check this one here. Yeah, this one looks better. I'm going to trade this. The amount of profit and losses doesn't really matter. It is just an evaluation. We are learning here. So let's focus on learning. If price takes this low, this SPS idea over here is going to be invalidated. Just let me create a color for this one. Take my setup first. Buy stop 1. Stop loss here. Buy another one. Another one if price keeps going. Good. The position size is alright, I guess. There is no significant imbalance over here. Price seems to be expanding higher. Let's see if price gives us this high over here. I wanna take my start taking my partials at these highs. Seems like price wants these highs, but from this candlestick, as you can see, it become a big one, and wiki, if this closes as a wick and keeps going higher, I will take 2 from here. If this closes as a strong candle, yes, it didn't close as strong as I wanted. If it closed, if it did close over here near the high, I would take one partial over here and then target the higher levels. But since price seems like it is receiving some selling pressure from these levels, then I can easily see that from the behavior of the candlestick, right? There is definitely some selling pressure over here. Otherwise, price would rip higher. So the selling pressure could even take my stop loss. I don't know. I can't see the future. I can't see where price is exactly going to go. I can just bet on a nice sequence, right? If price takes out my stop loss, it is what it is. I keep going. But otherwise, I take 2 partial from this high over here. Now this looks even weaker. If it doesn't take out my stop loss, I will take 1 partial from this level. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Just give me a second. I accidentally closed one position. I did it again. If this gets stopped out too, I am not long in it. I would wait for internal the internal setup, or the what was it? What was I was gonna say? Just give me a second. I will remember it right now. It is fractal liquidity. Yes, I will wait for fractal setup if. But this previous day low seems like it might keep us. Price already wicked it. I don't want to see price going below. Let me check this real quick. This is almost 2 hours. This is about 1 hour. I will be monitoring the price on this high. I might take another partial here, but this is definitely a partial point. It is almost 2 hours. 1 to 2. I think this previous day low over here hold the price. Otherwise price would likely take our stop loss. If price wasn't so choppy or looking too messy and too rangy, I would have added one more from this level. Why? Because it's something like this. Let me draw another one. It looks like this one. Price take it, acted like turning back higher. Sweat once again, just like we expected. Then acted like turning back higher once again, but this time price make yet another low. We didn't expect this one at first. We could see it, I could see it after the fact. Right now price seems like turning back higher, and another try failed and price instantly turned back higher. So that's why I might consider adding, but as I said, price looks choppy. There is this moving average crossover here. I believe it is a fake cross. I believe this moving average might turn back up. But what I believe doesn't really matter. I will just follow the feedback from price action. Now, look at this. Okay. The tap low is over here, right? Price taking out the tap low. What it does? Low. When price takes its tap low, right? Price actually is making a low, then lower high, then lower low, then lower high, or over here, then lower low, then lower high, then a failed swing. After the failed swing, if price can close above this high, this is a signal of a reversal. Price might then keep going higher and to take out this high over here. But since price has been really slow grind over here, I want to be more cautious. Right now it is looking nice. It would be lovely to see a closure above this level. Close above this immediately brings the partial. And then maybe this high too. It's really slow. Maybe I should have taken a partial right at this high, but I don't know. It was looking like it was going to close strongly, and it came back lower in the last seconds. I mean, this is the price of trading slow grind price or consolidations. Especially when the volatility is higher. If volatility was a little bit lower, it would have been nicer, easier. At least stop loss would be a little more tight. This stop loss is relatively big. Let me check the size of this stop loss. 40 points. If you are trading after like 10:30 a.m., I don't know, something like that, this stop loss could have been smaller. It could be something like that, right? candlesticks would be smaller and stop would be tighter. And if the stop was tighter, then we could have taken the first partial at 2 hours, right at this level maybe. That's the deal with the market open. High volatility gets, in my opinion at least, high volatility gets ugly if price is consolidating. But volatility is great during the expansions, but volatility plus consolidation is something like that, and I really don't like that too much. But let's see what happens. ES is looking a little different than Nasdaq. This is another sign of a difficult price action, right? If there's too much divergence between pairs. I mean, these live streams are currently my training ground. I'm not just teaching concepts over here. I am learning along with you guys, and I'm just sharing my experience, right? But as I keep going, I might consider removing this kind of days from risk taking altogether. I mean, right now I am trading one $20 account over here and another $100 account over here, 150 whatever. I mean, I'm just trading with cheap evaluations. If I was risking real capital, a significant amount, then I would most likely, yeah, I mean, I might skip trading this kind of price action altogether. So I didn't want to hesitate because I believe when we are learning new stuff, there is no reason to hesitate, right? It would be lovely to see price bouncing from here. And if it turns back higher, I will open a position with this one too. Let me open this. Okay. Did it took my stop loss? Oh man, just with a couple of tick. It's fine. Let's just wait. I'm erasing these. I don't want to take any other long because it dipped into the low too many times. One sweep, another 2, 3. Now it is the 4th time. This is low from London. This is low from pre-session. Price swept this pre-session low over here. Let's see what happens from here. Maybe price just didn't want to tap this electronic gap. I don't know yet. It's a possibility because price already tapped this regular trade hour weekend gap over here. And gap from ES is already far away. We see a strong gap down. Why isn't yesterday visible over here? Was Monday a bank holiday? Friday, Tuesday. What's wrong with this one? There is something wrong with the chart, I guess. Just give me a second. Yeah. Yes, it's on electronic. I couldn't understand, but it's fine. Seems like bias was wrong all along. I didn't respect this cross and price accumulating below these levels. Maybe I could have taken some partials around here. Then I could end up with profits or maybe break even. I think if I could properly execute, both trades were going to hit more than 1-to-1. I didn't take this one though. I take it after price come back. And this one moved more than 1 or 2. Sometimes this kind of things happens. I'm not going to get sorry about it, and I'm just going to focus on the next opportunity. I'm gonna take a scalp short setup over here. Break, tap, lower low. Let's see if keeps going lower or takes out this high over here. Are you watching stream with delay? Oh, I forgot to change this latency, I guess. Next time I will make this ultra low latency so you can watch it without any delay. I believe we are going for some lows we had rejected from rejection block last time. Yeah, it's all a possibility. Okay, I understand. We're bearish. All right. I just didn't want to see. I just didn't want to be bearish near the lows when price was consolidating, but right now price seems to want to go a little lower. I was honestly expecting this level over here when price first took out the previous day low. Price was around here turning back higher. It came near close to the level, but it couldn't reach out. It just tapped this weekend gap on RTH chart and then turned back lower with a choppy manner. It's alright. I think the only thing I can improve here is either skipping trading this kind of consolidations. It's a one choice that I can make. And the deal with consolidations, why it is difficult is you don't really know when price take a low what it is going to do. It might reverse back higher, it might chop and go lower, it might immediately go lower. There are many possibilities, so it gets a little more difficult, but it is what it is. Let me check these levels. These are really old levels on ES. This seems like a nice target. Is it too far away? Yeah, not really. Let me mark this weekend gap and lock it. Let's see, what do we have here? Another weekend gap. Lock this one either. All right. Let me close this indicator back. I already draw these two levels. Check on Nasdaq. This is a 1 minute chart, right? Yeah. It is the 1 minute. What do you guys think about this one? I think I was too late. And the other deal is about with scalping is, well, just wait, just give me a second. All right. I accidentally clicked market again. I was gonna click limit on this level, but well, it is what it is. I took this 15-second chart setup. I saw this momentum and the way 1 minute candles were forming, and I saw this low over here. So I just tried one, but I think my entry could have been better. I was actually going to set a limit entry from here. Another thing about scalp trades, if you are not very fast, if you hesitate, you don't get the juice. I mean, there is a huge difference between entering from here and here. I entered around these levels. It drastically changes the risk to reward ratio. But yeah, it is what it is. Price took the external. I want to see this protected. Just a little instinct, and I don't know, being extra cautious. I don't want to see price turning back and taking the high of this big candlestick over here, because price already broke below the low. I don't want a price coming back inside the range. If we zoom out, this is a big range. If price is immediately, I mean, look at this, okay? This is low of the range. This is just simple interpretation of market structure. Price already took this low, right? With a nice black candle. And then with the next candle, price reached out here, tapped this low over here, just this previous candlestick low, right? As if it was repairing the imbalance immediately and fulfilling imbalance on lower time frames, right? After that, price closed below this low over here. And when this kind of thing happens, I just want to see this momentum is continuing lower without taking out this high, right? I mean, it is just a simple logical approach. What I'm saying here is, if you are breaking out, just break out. If you are going to go lower, just go lower. If you are going to turn back higher, immediately take out my stop loss and don't give me additional losses. Plus, this thing over here has become the supply responsible for this break. This last white candlestick, this white one, broke this external range low, the external swing point. So I don't want to price taking out this high, and I don't even want to see price taking out this high, because price already tested this little SNDR over here, right? I don't want the price coming again. If price did something like that, let me show it with this drawing thing. If price did something like that, tap, lower low, immediately sweep that tap, then I would say, well, it can just take it, because this is the range, this is the breakout of the range, this is the tap of the range, right? Close. But price broke, tap, break again, tap, break again, tap, break again, tap. So if it is going to take out some tap highs, I don't want to see it is taking too much of them, too many of them. Okay, price just took this level. Let me check it on 1 minute chart. That still seems nice. The tap is below the range. Price tested this here, this over here. Price swept this one. Just give me a second. But it could still take out my stop loss. Still looking a little suspicious. Maybe I could have taken another partial around this level, but that's fine. It would be lovely to see price making another low here. It can keep expanding lower if it does. Otherwise, it might take the stop loss. And if price takes the stop loss, I am waiting for a yeah, it took the stop loss. I'm waiting for a combo short setup. This became the tape high on 1 minute chart. I don't want to see this one is getting taken. All right. Okay, today I will try something entirely new. And I will explain why I tried this. This is a completely mean reversion setup. This is just betting. Do not try this. Do not try to do the same thing, okay? I just made a bet that price was actually going to come to this level all along, but price just wanted to sweep this overnight session low once again. Price does this a lot. ES already took this one. Let me check ES. Yeah, ES looks like it is shortable. So I'm not going to hedge, but just to observe this short idea, SPS short idea, because on Nasdaq I don't think this is a very clean short, because price took this close above this SNDR. Maybe it was because of the high volatility, I don't know. Maybe this is a reversal. I just wanted to try this reversal idea with a lowest position possible. I'm not really afraid of experimenting. So let me open my paper trade account here. Where was I going? Where was it? Just it was over here. Because on ES it is a valid continuation short SPS setup. This was a range extreme, price consolidated right at the extreme and then broke lower with multiple imbalances, right? After the breakout, price made a tap and lower low. This is another small tap over here. So I believe this is a valid short on ES. Price might make another sweep and then turn back lower. And if it does that, if this sweeps this and comes back lower, I am taking another paper trade. And this could be a nice target, the gap we mentioned. I'm just doing it to get some experience, some feeling, right? I wanna see this. I clicked the button and I sat there and I watched what is going on to learn and improve myself. So I didn't take this ES short with my other account because I don't want to be hedging. Hedging is not my thing. So by the way, if price gave me a short SPS setup before it took the this external range low, then I would likely take that SPS short. In fact, I took it, but it was on lower time frames. It was a valid setup, but I couldn't react it fast enough. I was already talking and thinking about price. Normally it should have been something like that. I mean, if I traded it properly, I could have ended up with at least some partials or profits. I don't know. I took one partial, but it ended up in some losses. It was a small loss. Now, if I see a closure, I'm adding another one. And I don't want to see price taking out this low. Close above that level. I added another one. If this stops out, I would be end for today. And I might close this position earlier than this level based on the candlestick closures. I mean, if I see close below this level, I might kill the position manually. Little wicks are acceptable over here. But ideally, I don't want to see price taking out this level. I want to see this as a reversal level. Normally, I would consider it as an SPS setup, right? Normally, this is a tap low, right? But right when price is reversing, price is actually trapping some people, trapping some shorts. So, oh, by the way, let me check ES. We should just take this one for the sake of it, because we are observing what is going on, what is happening, what is price doing, right? This one didn't even go to the 1 hour, 1-to-1. I think this kind of setups rarely goes to profits. It leaves a huge candle and it leaves an imbalance. There is always a possibility for price to tap that imbalance and keep going back higher. So this second setup was actually better than the first one, because this second one at least might give something like 1-to-1, right? Price might want to tap this level. And if I take one partial on 1-to-1, then my setup is going to risk free. Or I can think of something like trailing stop too. If I trail my stop after price takes this level, that would be closed in profits. So I believe the second entry was much better than this one, and it is not a big surprise to see that price came once again, and it still wouldn't be a surprise to see price keep going higher. I mean, when you look at the ES chart, structure seems solid and valid, but When I look at the Nasdaq, I don't know, Nasdaq seems kind of strong, and I feel like this was not a real bearish momentum, and this was just a fake movement to just sweep this over here. So it's just a feeling based on my experiences and based on my final bet. I bid my final bet based on the higher time frame context. So I actually just took a setup based on higher time frame context. It's nice to see price staying above this imbalance. I don't want to see strong closures below it. I mean, sometimes it closes and then turns back higher, but it's nice to see this one and nice to see this expansion higher. If price closes above this over here, I am trailing my stop loss to this low. But this time I'm not going to add because account is already small. Maximum drawdown is about 3k. 300 and 306,000, and I already lost some. I already lost 300 and my maximum daily loss for this account is $800, I guess. Let me check it. This one, yeah, max daily loss is 800. So I'll just wait. Price seems like it invalidated this 5-minute imbalance. I mean, it was coming really beautifully, and all of a sudden, right after it takes out this low, it turns back higher. And it doesn't respect some SBS levels, right? I mean, look at this. Look at this like that. Should I remove drawings? No, I'm not going to remove everything. I'm just going to remove this levels only. Okay. Let me grab some water. I am thirsty. If price closes above this previous day high over here, previous day low over here, I mean previous day low level. This is our previous day low. Price took it on London session, pre-session, pre-AM, I mean, pre-New York, whatever you want to say. Price took that level and consolidated right below it and turned back higher. And then it came back, swept London low or overnight session low. It is the same thing. After the overnight session low sweep, price turned back higher, invalidating two of these. I sometimes feel like I am talking to price, right? Did it close above this one? No. It seems like a bullish SPS with the with this expanded reversal. I'm not exactly sure, but I would like to see price staying above these levels. I certainly don't want to see closure below this. Let me check ES once again. It couldn't take out the partial. Went back once again. Took the stop loss. At this point, I think I wouldn't force a short. We tried this one. We saw what happened. So next time, if I see something like that, I'm not going to short it because I already knew price started today slow. And I already knew that price didn't just expand with conviction. Price chopped for a while, and price was leaving multiple wicks. Also, Nasdaq and ES was diverging a little. So after seeing those, I could easily, very well waited. I could have waited for another sweep. I could consider this imbalance over here. So actually, next time if I see something like that, and if I am taking risk, that would probably be the only setup that I could take. I wouldn't take this first one, but I could still try the second one. Try this one, and if the second one gets stopped out, then wait for either take this long over here, expanded reversal example, either take the long, or if I don't want to take long and if I feel like it is bearish, wait for the bearish confirmation, which is price doing its thing, chopping around, going back and forth, whatever price does, whatever it does, and then turns back lower. This starts to be flat right now, which is going above. If we look at this indicator, it shows this direction, right? I would wait for this to turn flat, then price start to accumulate below it. I will then maybe start to look for short setups, or I will just maybe simply wait for this combo idea, something like that. Right? This combo or fractal liquidity sweep setup. So that is how I would play it. And if I was going to long, I wouldn't long ES, I would long Nasdaq. Alright, it's nice to see that this SBS is playing out. Close above this, and I am trailing my stop loss. How much points am I targeting? It is too much. I don't know. $200 points is not that huge when price already took some liquidity points. Yeah, that's where I would target for today. This is starting to look nicely. Now I see what I want to see a breakout. Price is accumulating above this, and price turned this above. I want to see price coming to this level and closing above it. The stronger the better. And then I want to see some moving average crossover. I want to see these two crossing. And that would probably bring us to the target level. Let me look at the daily chart. Price already took a swing low over here, and right now price took a previous day low. I mean, price has been kind of asshole towards expansion traders, right? It takes something, turns back, something, turns back. And I see that most of the ICT traders struggle with this kind of price action a little, because it really looks like it is expanding towards a direction, but immediately after it takes something, it just starts acting weird. And this one too looks confusing because this short idea didn't really play out. Yeah, I think price is gonna keep going higher, even though I see this chop. I might be wrong. But I will wait. I will just stand by the structure, even though price disrupts the structure. I mean, in here I tried the mean reversion idea. It didn't play out very well. And then I tried the short idea with momentum. I couldn't play it out very well. In here, the structure, the idea actually worked, but I couldn't trade it good enough. And then I just wanted to try that mean reversion long idea towards the highs. And I wanted to observe this on ES, this short idea, just to learn together with you guys. And I learned that this one over here is not the greatest short. Second one is okay, even though it was stopped out, it was okay. And after the second one gets stopped out, it could be a nice idea to, or good idea to wait for a fractal setup. I think since we are in the week of the daylight saving shift, price might be acting a little weird because of that. I don't know. I mean, I have seen some price actions that a lot easier to trade than this one. So I didn't trail my stop loss, right? Yeah, I didn't trail it. It's okay. I mean, from now on, I will just sit and wait with my fingers crossed, because as you can see, the short setup idea didn't work properly, at least on 1 minute chart. It came weirdly, strongly. I didn't look for short on Nasdaq because of this low sweep over here and price closing above the tap highs with really strong momentum, and price making new highs. Now it made a triple top, and then it seems like it might be turning back lower. But I don't really like this kind of price actions, 1, 2, 3, and then fail swing and then going lower. But I can't be sure if it's gonna keep going lower. And the long perspective doesn't look very clean either right now. I mean, if I wasn't in a setup, if I didn't took this one, I probably wouldn't try much from these levels. I mean, look at this. If it turns back higher, goes back higher, it will be going higher after many manipulations, a lot of manipulations, right? It didn't play out this sweep over here. It made multiple highs, multiple lows. Essentially, it is consolidating below the low, right below the previous day low. I mean, this could be something similar to this one. I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise to see this kind of price action during pre-session on London or on Asia. Okay, but seeing this on AM session after 10 AM tells me that, boy, be cautious today. Be willing to accepting the losses today. So today I'm not going to go for the full loss. My maximum loss limit is $800, right? But if I get stopped out, it would be like $600 and $60, around 600. I'm not going to catch another little scalp. I'm not trying to go over. I'm not tell myself, well, I already have some more daily drawdown, some more buffer, if you will. I will just close this day, wouldn't take any more trade, maybe continue with paper trades just to learn the characteristics of these kind of days, learn how to survive these days, right? I don't really know, but currently I don't like the way it looks. And I don't like it on both sides. If it keeps going lower and take out my stop loss, I would still think that the price action was not the way I got used to, was not in my favor. and I wouldn't like this price action if it takes my stop loss. But if it turns back higher from here, I still wouldn't like the price action, right? I would take a profit, but I still wouldn't like it much. And I don't know, I believe it might still go to profits. Five-minute looks a little weak, but right now I can't really trust anything price does. These kind of days will happen. In some days I will be more confident, I will be more in tune with price. I'm not telling you that today is a bad price action, or I'm not telling you today is not a tradable day, right? What I'm telling you is I got used to some particular thing, and that I believe that particular thing is occurs more often than this kind of price action, right? I believe this is a little bit more rare occurrence, and I'm not very good at this kind of price action. So all I need to do is survive this, so I can thrive on the better ones. Oh, at least I would be learned something without killing myself, right? Even if I can just close these days with losses, accept that loss, and not get wrecked mentally by that loss, right? Even if I can do that, that's enough for me. That's really great, something great. Because that would mean I would survive and I would learn and adapt. And as you can see, I do my best to learn. I am only focused on improving myself. I'm not worried about passing an account, right? I passed hundreds of accounts before. Look at the number of this one. 384. I passed many accounts. I received many payouts. Where am I right now? I'm with nothing, right? So I'm no longer focused on short-term gains anymore. I'm only focused on the process, the long term, and I'm only focused on improving my craft, improving my feelings towards the price, right? And the more I do, the better I get. And in order to do that, I think I should be able to acknowledge little successes or little improvements too. For example, the little improvement for today, the big improvement actually is not clicking radically, clicking like a psychopath. I believe I didn't do that. I could see this consolidation over here, and I didn't chopped up around here too much. I mean, I could have taken partials and left this area with break even. Also this area too. I could improve myself on that. If I see some kind of uncertain and slow grind price like that, I could be more cautious about the partials, but that's fine. I already noticed this slow price action when price was looking like it was turning back higher around here, and I didn't try to jump in any setups over here. I waited patiently, which was a good thing, I guess, because sometimes price takes out the low and immediately turns back higher and takes out this high, or maybe just sweeps this one and sweep this one, right? If price just swept this, I could have ended with profits. It doesn't really matter. What matters is what I did was not a terrible mistake, right? I didn't do a big mistake. The things I failed at was reading the context or reading the price action, and believe me, every trader at some point is going to fail at doing that. I mean, even the best ones are failing to recognize when some uncommon stuff is going on with the price action. Even legends like Tom Hogarth sometimes get wrecked in some particular days. In one of his videos, I saw him getting really frustrated and angry, and I believe there is no reason to be angry, right? Maybe it's because of his competence level. I don't know. I don't get mad at myself when I fail because, well, I'm learning. I get to fail. Maybe he thinks that he is already professional. He doesn't get to fail. But I don't believe that. I believe that even the best ones can fail sometimes, because this is not something like a surgery. Those surgeries can fail too. So, I don't know. I'm not too attached to the outcome. I'm trying my best to improve my chill. I don't know. Close above this high, and I will trail this stop loss over here. Once again. Oh, we're just in break-even. I thought we might have some profits after this move over here, but that's okay. I am trying to create a distinction between when I talk to myself or when I take notes. I try to create a distinction between a mistake and a miscalculation. Okay? Mistake is what? Mistake is just erratically opening positions with over leveraging, right? Just constantly clicking the button or doing the things that I already know that is not good for me. I call that as a mistake. I mean, if right now I open, for example, 50 lots long over here, right? That would be a mistake. And I don't want to make a mistake, because a little movement over here might immediately blow my account. Okay? Opening 50 lots in this kind of price action with just 2000 drawdown is gambling. And trying to gamble is a mistake. Because why? Even if I ended up with profits, let's say I clicked the buy button, it just immediately turned back higher, or I clicked the sell, it went lower, doesn't matter. Let's say I clicked the buy and it started ripping higher, and I immediately passed this account. I got a funded account now, I passed the evaluation. Well, that would still be a mistake, right? Outcome doesn't matter. A mistake is a mistake. But a miscalculation is just thinking like there would be this kind of SPS setup, taking the SPS based on the book, and then taking a loss and trying another one and taking a loss again. That is miscalculation. I made a miscalculation over here. I thought price might dip a little lower. Also, I couldn't click on the exact place where I wanted. That was a miscalculation. That was a misclick. I was going to limit sell over here, but instead I clicked market sell. So then I added suboptimal level, into my position on suboptimal levels, but that's fine. Misclicks happen, miscalculations happen. That's the nature of the business, and they will always happen. Okay, what matters is being able to survive the miscalculations and misclicks and things like that. And currently, I don't even care about the accounts, right? This account can be blown. Let's say I took a loss today, and another with proper risk management. Let's say I slowly blew up this account. That's still fine, because I'm not losing my. Did it close? Yes. Trail it here. I'm not losing my sanity. Okay, that's the most important part. If I am not losing my mental well-being, then it's all good. Good boy, keep going expanding. Now let me check the daily chart, higher time frame, and look at some levels where price might visit. I believe price might easily fulfill this gap. But again, it is quite choppy. I don't want to see this low is getting taken. Doesn't look so bad. It looks okay. Yes. This is the 10 a.m. candle. So 10 a.m. 4-hour candle. If we created the lower wick of the candle, which is possible, we took some nice levels and we are in discount levels. And if we keep expanding higher, we might very well fulfill this gap and maybe even come inside the gap and visit the midpoint of the weekend gap. I don't know. It looks like a possibility. On the RTH, it looks like that. On the RTH, it tapped this gap and this gap from February 17. You see that? It looks really clean, but it looks clean on hindsight. I couldn't notice on the chart. Maybe I couldn't notice this drop over here. I was already biased towards price. I am loving these imbalances. They are looking nice. I would like to see more. And I might even get full target for today. By full target, I mean the consistency target, which is, it would be around here. It would be crazy to get this amount of profits with a, what was this? This was 2 micros. Yes, this is 2 micro setups. If the account was a little bigger, I could have added another one here. In here, I just traded the structure. Price tapped the 200 moving average. Oh, price closed above it. That's lovely. I don't think that this level can't hold the price lower when price is coming up with this kind of imbalances. So I kind of feel like price is keep going higher, taking out this high, and then probably this high to tap the electronic weekly gap. After the electronic weekly gap, I don't know, I might close the position. I might keep carrying it because there is a possibility to see something like that. Imagine this imbalance is forming. Imagine prices keep going higher and then making this huge deep retracement, coming back all the way to our entry and then turning back, things like that. We don't want something like that because we don't get to carry our positions to next day. I mean, imagine this price came all the way to these levels, hit this level and started turning back lower, right? And close today around these levels, and on Asia or London, on the next day during Wednesday, it turns back higher and reaches our target. That would be meaningless for us because we would be forced to close our trades on some lower levels. So I'm currently just watching the price. Just want to see how this 11 candle closes. This one over here. Currently looking really nice. The candlestick just opened and came pretty good. And if you think about the 4-hour candlestick forming, the open, high, low, and close idea, our candlesticks opened right at this level on 10 a.m. I will make it this level and this color. This is the 10 a.m. and I will show it on 1 minute chart, it was looking like this. Price opened at 10 a.m. This 4-hour candlestick, right? It opened, it looked like exactly like this, and it was looking like a white candle. Then it was consolidating here. It was being black, white, black, white, black, white. Then it started expanding lower, and it looked like a really strong black candle that breaking below this one, right? At this level, 4-hour candle was looking quite bearish. We didn't check the 4-hour candle, but it was looking like price closing below this low, breaking below, and maybe taking out this low. It was looking like that on 4-hour chart, right? And probably there were many breakout sellers over here. Even I was one of that breakout sellers. If that breakout kept going on, I was going to take some nice profits, and these profits would have eventually be a breakout sell. Okay, the idea might be a 15-second SPS setup, but that doesn't change the fact that I was betting on a breakout over here, right? If I took my partials immediately at this level without looking at RR size, then this wouldn't be a breakout trade. This would be a little scalp near the liquidity sweep. But I didn't do that. I kept carrying the positions. Maybe I forgot to take partial. Maybe I couldn't take partial because my entry wasn't good. Maybe I was just talking and busy talking and distracted. It doesn't matter. What matters is what I took over here was not really a continuation setup. It was a breakout setup because price was looking like breaking below this. So breakout sellers got trapped over here, just like I did. And price didn't reverse immediately. Price wanted to do some tricks, right? And wanted to trap more people. Price trapped longer buyers here too. Which buyers? The reversal buyers maybe, or buyers that thought this could be a price. Even trapped the SPS traders, right? By SPS trader, I don't only mean the community. There are some people trading this SPS pattern without even knowing what SPS is. Maybe they use another logic. Maybe they just use order flow, right? They are looking at order block. They are seeing this reversal over here. They are seeing this low over here, and then they are seeing that sellers are getting trapped here, right? And they are seeing that price is turning back higher, and maybe they are buying here, right? That would be exactly like our SPS idea. And if we just took a SPS setup, we would ended up with a loss. And look at this. Even in here, after it took the last low, it really looks extremely bearish. I honestly was thinking that it was over. I was just thinking about, well, it seems like it is taking out the stop loss. What should I do? Should I close the stream, or should I close the accounts instead of stream and just keep on with paper trading? I was considering this when I was talking to you, but then price reversed. It was a little manipulative, and because of this nature of price, I still believe that price might take out this level and make a deep retracement to this high over here, and then turn back higher. And I was talking about this 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart was looking bearish as hell right after it opened. It opened, swept the lows, chopped around. It it gave a slap on everybody's face, probably, or many people's face, and then it turned back higher. So this gives me a signal that this was a genuine reversal, and this momentum is quite strong, and I don't need to be worrying about my positions around this level. It is likely going to take out this high over here. So I'm not looking for shorts here. I'm not looking for longs either, because from the beginning of the price, we saw that price has been tricky, right? At least for my perspective. If price has been tricky for me, I don't care what price was doing objectively. It has been tricky for me, right? It was difficult for me. Then that means it could keep going on like that. And if it is going to keep going on like that, it might do some weird retracements from the places that I didn't expect. It might do something like that, for example. Chop, 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 make high, turn back lower, test this 200 simple moving average over here, and then turn back higher. That is another possibility. I don't know, and I don't care, because I'm already in my position. I left my stop loss in a nice place. I am just sitting on my profits. I don't care about the unrealized gains, because this is the end of the day drawdown. It is not trailing stop. We already hit 2 hours, and I believe, I don't know, this kind of feels better than the scalp setups. Scalps feels like too much job, right? Too much work. Don't try to see I definitely agree with this statement. Experiments on propaganda results. Our account gets below. I definitely agree. Don't try this at home. This is something I have been seeing for a real while, and I don't know, this time I just wanted to trust my gut and trust my analysis, trust things that I know, instead of trying to force a pattern to price, right? I mean, I did try this pattern over here. I mean, it was bullish, and the thing I tried was small setup with big stop loss. This is 75 point stop loss is something really new for me, because I am used to scalping. Most of the time I used to set 10 or 20 point stop losses, and in my good days I would take, this would be my profit target. But volatility is getting bigger each day, and stop losses are getting wider. I'm still targeting 70 points, but my stop losses are becoming 40 points, 30, 40, and I don't know, I just traded my idea, and I just trusted my gut and experiences, and not just that, I also trusted the objective levels. I believe this weekly gap is an objective level. I was really I really wanted to see price coming to this level, and I was a little disappointed to see that price just tapping the RTH one and not reaching out to this one. But then I was also considering the previous day low. This is not the only component of my idea. I mean, I didn't just target just because there is this level just because there is this weekend gap over here. There was this weekend gap over here, and price already took this previous day low and accumulated below nicely and started its expansion. And I thought maybe price could leave London low over here and then take out this one, or even if it's going to be bearish, maybe it might sweep the high and tap the level and then turn back higher. I don't know, I just expecting this level, and when I saw the pattern I just clicked on it. But then I got disappointed that price was not coming towards here, and when I saw this candlestick turning back, I just remembered the times I got clapped out, chopped out. I would try longs over this level, price would come back lower in a weird manner, at least weird for me, and then price would look like it would give me a short setup. I mean, if Nasdaq acted exactly like ES, if Nasdaq was looking like this one, I would short this and I would still lose once again. And it felt really similar, familiar. I kind of I felt a deja vu. I felt like, okay, I lost on longs here, I lost on shorts here, I will probably lose on shorts in here once again. I felt like that, and eventually I would try longs over here. Look at this, long SBS here, stopped out, short SBS here, stopped out, another long here, stopped out. Eventually think that price is going short here, and I don't know, get mad at price, start over to the trading, and at this point my accounts are blown and I'm watching this one and thinking why it went higher, but why did it went higher like this? Why did it took this to why did it happen? Was it because of the daylight save time shift? Let me check the calendar. I think it's really close. When was the daylight time shift? Right, this weekend. I mean, this weekend, next week can be a little weird because this will change some schedules in the business world, and that might affect the way the traders all around the world behaves. Also, I believe some algorithms, time is important for algorithms, I guess, programming stuff like that. So, and in my experience, I saw that during these weeks I might see a little bit, price might be a little bit challenging for me. So I don't know, but today I just wanted to be a little flexible and just trust this objective level and trust the structure. I mean, at least final structure. I don't know, I didn't really want to see price closing above this high over here. So the context was like this. When we look at the 4-hour chart, I will remove everything so we can go, since this trade already hit 2 hours and since it expanded pretty nicely, about 150 points, even more, and it looks like it is going to hit 200 points profits and even more. So even though I still haven't taken any profits, I consider this as a good trade. I think you might agree with this statement too. So let's go over our chart and my thought process, what happened, right? First of all, we are on a consolidation range since the October or even more. Price has been inside of this range since the beginning of the September, right? I'm going to open NQ1 chart here so you can see these levels too. This continuous contract doesn't show it. Okay. Not this one. Not this one too. This one is okay. NQ1. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay. Remove everything over here. Now, look at it here. Price was on here on August, and right after the first weeks of the September, price broke above this range, right? And above this range, right above these levels, maybe I can take this range from here. I just want to take multiple highs, right? Above this range over here, right? Or this range, it doesn't matter, but I want to show it like that. Price created a new range and price has been inside of this range quite a while. Look at this price. How long has it been in here? September. I don't know, my math is really bad. 200 and almost 20 bars. Yeah, 220 bars and 120 bars, excuse my English, and 175 days. Price has been inside of this range, and let's observe what price has been doing inside of this range. Going higher, taking out some highs, coming back lower. Higher, purge above the all-time highs, coming back lower. And when it is coming back lower, look carefully. Took this low, made a bounce and took this little daily high, went back lower, took this low, made a bounce, went back lower, took this low over here, this previous daily lows, made a bounce, took previous day highs, came back lower, took the external range liquidity, which is also a SBS low, tap low. Look at this, okay? Or if you look at my mechanical liquidity cycle perspective, doesn't matter, same exact thing. The range, break above the range and price is staying above the range, then price tapping the range. After the tap, price keep going and then price coming back inside the range when it is sweeping the tap low. And after that, bounce again, price taking out this high, a little drop, taking out these highs, a bigger drop, and with this drop, taking out this swing low, turning back higher, leaving this little low here, if you zoom in, right? Taking the low. You get the gist, right? I'm just explaining the logic here. Price has been range bound and price has been receiving reaction from extreme levels. When it gets close to range extreme, this is the most extreme point of the range, right? And this was the second most extreme point. Price received some reaction from it and went back lower. Now it became another second extreme. These are the most extremes, right? If you look at it like that, from these levels, this is the most extreme high, and this is the most extreme low. This is the most extreme low, and this is the most extreme high, and another extreme over here, right? And yet another extreme over here. Price took this one, immediately come back to take this one, and every extreme gives some kind of reaction to price. Some kind of. So I'm removing everything and I'm just simply marking a low. Look at this. Right? I don't need to mark a particular level. It doesn't matter. I can just look at it like that. When price is getting closer to this area, it went lower. When price gets closer to lower areas, it bounced a little at least. So that's why I was thinking I wasn't. If you ask for my bias, my bias is bearish, right? I believe that price will eventually take out this low. I believe these levels can be taken, swept, and then price might turn back higher. That's my bias, okay? But I also believe that price doesn't have to do it immediately. Price just opened the March candle. It just did that. And price really likes to I believe this will be a breakout eventually. I believe price will make a simple moving average crossover on daily chart. Price will tank lower. Maybe we will see some bad news about economy, some wars. I don't know. I don't care. We will see some Trump news. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe price might reverse back higher. but that's not the case. That's what my analysis tells me. My analysis tells me price makes a cross here, breaks below this low, and then visits these highs and takes out these lows over here. And if you look at monthly chart, there's this imbalance over here. I believe this imbalance might hold the price, and monthly candle might look like a wick. Maybe this month, maybe next month. Ideally next month. I would like to see this month a little more choppier, and next month wicking and turning back higher, and during the May and May, June, July, it's going higher and slowing down at the highs and consolidating here to reach out to 30Ks eventually. That's my analysis, okay? My analysis currently is bearish, but just because my analysis is bearish doesn't mean it has to keep tanking today. It is still in between these two. It is a great condition to see a choppy price action inside of the daily range. Look at this. Hit this level. Look at this price. Hits here, comes back lower, hits here, comes back higher, hits here, comes back lower, hits here once again, comes back lower. You get the idea. Let me check the chart once again. Yeah, it is going quite slow, so we can keep chatting. Oh, let me check the ES as well. Yeah, okay. Highs are still there. Nice turn back higher. I expect these levels to be taken on ES. I will set an alarm here. It would be lovely to see ES coming to this gap, tapping this, and Nasdaq going inside the gap. It doesn't matter. Let's go back to the chart. If we look at any kind of time frames, we see that price has been consolidating, and lower bands are where limit orders are, and price might easily bounce from those levels. So I wasn't too bearish here, and I was a little surprised to see this drop, but I think I didn't expect this low to be taken because ES already took it. I was thinking that there might be a divergence there. ES already took previous day lows too, this low too. Even ES even took a more external low, this February 6th low, and Nasdaq didn't take it yet. This over here. So my analysis was bullish, a little bullish because of these ideas, but I didn't care about my own analysis. I just wanted to take what price was giving me, and price was not really giving me many things. I mean, price, in my perspective, it was quite manipulative today. This was the nice long idea. I really didn't like this, that price was closing below here. If you were watching that part, you might remember that even if it doesn't take out my stop loss and goes back higher, I still wouldn't like this price action too much. I had to show some extra efforts just to survive. I like the days where I don't even need to show any efforts, just price goes. That's the days I like. But it doesn't matter. This was the idea. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Bitrate is too low. Okay. I gotta learn this stuff, man. I hope you can see everything clearly. Burhan is telling me that it was very well, and he is congratulating me. Thank you for your kind words Burhan. London Low altındaki manipülasyonu manipüle etmek istedi. Pek görmedim ben. And he says price wanted to manipulate the low right below the London low. And he says he didn't see this kind of price action too much. And I agree with him. I didn't see this kind of price action too much as well. But sometimes it happens. Sometimes there was some accumulation over here probably. Maybe some people wanted to take a little more longs from here. So one last sweep, one last manipulation, and then the expansion. I'm suspicious about this SPS setup. I would rather see it playing out, but I wouldn't be surprised if price kept going lower, maybe tested this level and then turn back higher. Ideally, I would like to see price keep going higher, eventually reaching my initial target, first target on this gap. I believe price is coming here, but I'm not exactly sure when, so I'm waiting patiently. Closure of this candlestick is important. It really matters for me how it closes. We are going into lunch in 25 minutes. I don't want to see this candlestick closing weakly, and I mean, when I look at this price tested this imbalance once, went back lower a little, came back and tested it once again, went back lower a little too to take the extreme, range extreme. After the range extreme, price reversed back higher and dipping inside this imbalance. It would be nice to price closing inside of it at least. If price closes inside this, then that would be a confirmation for this level. Let's get back what Burhan says. Yani daha doğrusu açılıştan çok daha sonra gerçekleşti. Açılışla beraber bunu yapmaz. Exactly. Yeah, that would be lovely. Burhan is telling that he expected this kind of sweep of overnight session low or London low, both the same thing. He was expecting this London low sweep on market open, but market consolidated a while before doing that. I mean, yeah, that really makes sense to me. If price didn't idle around here too much and immediately came back lower and swept this and then turned back higher, then I would have taken a better long setup. Maybe I wouldn't get stopped out too much, but doesn't really matter. What has happened. Sometimes price does this kind of stuff. It wanted to accumulate some orders. It wanted to manipulate a little bit more, dip into the lows and then reverse. These kind of things happen when there is shift in daylight saving time. This kind of stuff may happen in next winter too, when we are going back to UTC -5, and this kind of things happen. This kind of consolidating, chopping, manipulating, or I don't know, idling price action happen with bank holiday weeks, especially the day after the bank holiday, and it might happen throughout the bank holiday week. I mean, there might be a bank holiday on Tuesday, and that single bank holiday might disrupt the whole price action of the whole week, throughout the week. Because why? When there's a bank holiday, bigger players have to keep that in mind when they are building their positions or adjusting their positions. So they might be sidelines a little bit more, or they might be doing the accumulation stuff, etc. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I didn't see any big players, but this is my interpretations from my past experiences. I'm not claiming that I saw that big guys, big players. I never seen a billionaire in my life. I'm not going to lie about this kind of stuff. But my experiences tells me that my experiences tell me that when there's a big bank holiday, some people cannot open any position because some option traders, some commercials, etc. I don't know about much, but some hedge funds, they can only trade during the regular trade hours because of the volume, low volume or volume inefficiencies. If a really big institution starts accumulating their longs around here, their little buys might spike the price. So let's say a little institution opens some couple hundred lots, maybe, I don't know, couple hundred longs here. This might immediately push price higher, and if they cannot buy market like us, right? We can click buy market, buy market, buy from whenever, whichever level we want. They are not opening 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 positions like us. They built hundreds and thousands and maybe more positions. For example, they buy 500 lots over here, maybe buy 1,000 here, or 200, 200, 200, and they eventually accumulate. After the accumulation, they start this expansion by buying it a little expensive prices. At these points, they build their positions, and they cannot build that positions in a single price points. They have to accumulate it. If they buy too much, they spike the price. If they spike the price, their next buys, some of their positions will be more expensive. So they buy a little, wait, or maybe use algorithms, use their own algorithms to push price back lower, to create fast buy and sell orders to spike price below these levels. Eventually, when they are accumulated enough, they can again use those algorithms or normal positions and become a little more aggressive right when price is taking out stop losses or getting near the stop losses without giving a chance to sellers. Short seller price doesn't give a chance to short sellers to adjust their positions, right? Price immediately takes it and rushes. This is a squeeze. So I believe if there's a bank holiday or if there's a shift like that, some big players are unable to open or close their positions the way they like. So they have to be sidelines, and I don't exactly remember where, but in somewhere I read that in some place I read that retail traders are creating the only 5% of this total daily volume. We are creating, not we, because I don't create any volume. I'm a simulated trader right now, but you get the gist. Retail traders only create 5% of total volume on trading. Rest of the volume is created by institutions, I don't know, the big players, hedge funds, commercials, brokers, banks. I don't know them, but I can get the idea. When there's a bank holiday or time shift like that, they have to adjust themselves based on that. And when they adjust themselves based on that, they affect the price based on that. So when they affect the price in a different manner, I get shocked. I lose money. I get confused. I tell myself, well, it was always doing it. Why did it do that? Well, because some whale just opened its mouth. That's why. It didn't even want to eat you, but you are in the wrong place, right? It's something like that, I guess. But over time, by observing this every single day, I have been looking at Nasdaq chart every day for the last 3 years. and I keep looking at it. One of the reasons I started this live session, so I wouldn't do it alone. I can keep doing it, and I don't know, I told myself I am in front of the screen right after 9:30 or right after 10 a.m. every single day. There in the last 3 years, there is probably no single day that I didn't sit in front of the chart and start observing price action. Even during the times I didn't take any risks, right? And if I was unable to sit in front of the chart and see this happen live, I would look at the chart at the end of the day. I would check it. Price took this. Okay. I did this every single day for the last 2 or 3 years. More than 2 years. Maybe not exactly 3, but close to 3 years. And the more I keep doing that, the more I felt that I'm getting somewhere. Something is happening right inside of my brain. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I can feel that something is going on, and I can feel that I am really getting better each day. Apparently the only thing I needed was a structured thought. Okay, price is taking out the high. What do you guys think? Price has reached our target. The weekly gap. I mean, almost. Not exactly, but almost. It will hit this level. Probably in this candlestick. Yes. The target reached. What do you guys think now? I'm not going to rush to close my positions because I'm not expecting a V-shaped reversal from here. I believe if this price is going to reverse, it is going to consolidate a little bit first. So if I see a consolidation, I can close it, take a partial. I don't know. I don't care. I will watch the price. And I won't focus on the profits or position, and I will just focus on the logic. I will focus on improving myself, right, and learning. So let's come to the chat. What do you guys think? What it might do next, and what do you guys think about this trade over here? I think it was a pretty solid one. I could have added over here, but I already got stopped out and I didn't have too much daily drawdown yet. I mean, after price closed here, let me check if I could have added to this one. Oh man, I don't like using new platforms, but okay. I am going to find it. Yes, I found it. And I lost it. Yeah, it's here. Could I add it from here? If I add it from here, I would get $200 more. And this would be, yeah, it wouldn't be enough. No, would it be enough? Oh, it would be exactly enough. Yeah, I could have added from here. Okay, that's a lesson. Next time I might add from here. I mean, this was a nice level to add to the position. After price closed above here. After price, and I trailed my stop here. And profits would have been 500 more if I did add from that level. Right now I don't really want to see a V-shaped reversal from these levels. I want to see a consolidation, and I kind of feel like price might consolidate. And if price keeps rushing lower, then I'm not selling. I'm going to carry the position until the end of the day. If price makes some kind of erratic retracement lower towards these levels, I don't know. I don't want to see that retracement yet. I want to see price consolidating and then keep going higher, and I really want to see ES reaching to this level too, but let's see an experiment. This was the target, original target. I can still take a partial right at this level. Price isn't still on my target. Didn't come back lower too much. And this is a nice profits, I guess. I mean, I feel like crazy to not take a partial from this level. I used to scalp couple of points in the past on 5-second chart, 15-second chart. I kind of feel like, right now at least, I kind of feel like this trading style is more fun. Requires some patience and a little bit more technical skills, but I will check some levels. Hourly chart. Oh, I want to see the regular trade hours on 5 minutes, on 1 minute. Price closed inside it, and price came real close to this midpoint of previous, high of previous, and this one here. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this a good place to take a partial profits? Just one word, incredible. Thank you, Burhan. Thank you for your kind words. I mean, you see exactly what I do. I don't have a secret sauce. I don't have anything. I just look at the chart every single day, and eventually I reach to this level, and I think I still have a lot of way to go, right? By the way, this is not paper trade. This is an evaluation account. I'm hoping to pass and get payouts from this one. The amount doesn't really matter for me, but yeah. I'm just going to take my first partial at my initial target. Right exactly at my target, which is this level. Sell limit over here. Maybe it was difficult on micro Nasdaq, I don't know. Okay, first partial taken. I didn't panic sell, I just waited for the consolidation and took the partial on my target. Closed P&L is already positive. We cannot close this day on losses. That's nice and lovely. I want to see daily chart once again. I kind of feel like price might be coming to this midpoint. Oh, this level is a nice place to take a profit either. I don't know. It was rejected by monthly low, by the way. Yes, this monthly low. This was actually on my chart, but then I deleted it. Price rejected from this level on last month too, and there is a divergence on previous monthly low. ES took it out, Nasdaq could not. We tried to get our pattern on paper trade to observe what happens, and we took the real trade, the actual trade we wanted to take on the evaluation account. Which evaluation we took the actual trades we really wanted to, we really believed in, and on paper we just tried something to observe what we observe this. The context is more important than any kind of pattern. At least right now, that's what I believe. If I didn't took a long setup over here, this seems like a solid SPS setup, but I don't know, in the recent days I hesitate to take setups from the extremes, close to the extremes. I mean, if you look at today's range on RTH especially, I'm not talking about this overnight movement over here. Overnight movement is a weak movement. If you look at this range, especially from these levels, right, this huge consolidation area over here and high of that area, price showed a short SPS pattern. We have seen a short SPS pattern right near the range lows, and it failed and price turned back higher. And after price came near these highs, price was printing a long SPS, and I hesitated. I didn't want to add from this level because I wasn't sure if price does something like that. So I didn't. And by something like that, I mean this. One entry, stop. Another entry, stop. Another things like that, right? I thought I believed price was bullish, but I didn't know how it was going to go higher. It could have been like this. It did exactly like that. It could have been something like that. It could have been something like that. It's all a possibility, so I wanted to be cautious. I didn't take this one. But I think this long over here is a valid long. And I believe this kind of setups, by this kind of setups, I mean this particular pattern over here. I believe this thing will show itself over and over again after the month of April, especially if April swipes the lows I expected and reverses back higher. This will be a money printer, easy money. Believe it or not, during the 2024, everything I traded was this, almost this. I was just waiting for price when it made a huge movements like this, especially long, because why? Daily price was bullish. When I saw this kind of huge movement, I would just start marking the lows. I would be like, I'm long if price takes this amount. Why? Because it came break, tap, high, a tap on 30-second chart. I would take this long. Then I would open my another account and take a long from here. Then I would zoom out a little bit. Oh, this is a swing low. Price swept and turned back higher. I would immediately click market buy from here and another from here, right? I wasn't using the trade copiers. For example, I had several accounts. I had 5. I think I had seven accounts on Blenox, 7 funded accounts, and 1 from Fivers, 1 from funded next. I don't know. I had many funded accounts, and I didn't use trade copier because I didn't know too much stuff about trading. I didn't trust entirely. I was just trying stuff, clicking on stuff, and Stoic Trader was one of the stuff I just tried. I became unprofitable for a while with ICT concepts. I was trying to trade 10 a.m. silver bullet. I believe that model is bullshit. It only gives 1 setups each week, or maybe 1 setup for 2 weeks. I don't know. I don't like that. I couldn't make money with that. I blown accounts, so I stopped trading. So I saw Stoic Trader, I saw the SPS, it resonated, so I decided I would backtest it for if it is necessary. I told myself if it would be necessary, I will paper trade for the next 6 months. because I had never paper traded before. I told myself I constantly take risks and I try stuff on my accounts with risks. And I told myself that I was just going to stop taking risks and start paper trade, learn, and I would do whatever it takes, however it requires. I gave myself 6 months, and after 3 weeks, price started expanding on daily chart, and I was seeing this pattern, and I told myself that, well, this is a opportunity. So after 3 weeks, I bought an account for $20 and activated it for 300. Passed the account, activated for 150. So it was really going great. I was on hot streak, win streaks, so I bought another one. It went great too, so I bought a 100k CFD. It was going good too, so I started taking payouts from all three of them. After that, I started buying more accounts, and that's $600. With that $600, I eventually made 100k payouts, but obviously I was also spending the money I made. I mean, for example, I would get 5k payouts. I would purchase accounts with the 1k and pay the rents, all the expenses. I paid some debts of my father, things like that. I am net positive still after all those losses. I lost all my funded accounts and I lost some money too, but I'm net positive still because I made good money. Probably my total profits is around $70,000 or $80,000. But that smoking weed stuff and undisciplined lifestyle really messed up with my brain. And especially when you are trading, you need to be more careful about that kind of stuff. Anything that disrupts your sleep is really dangerous, too dangerous, because it really makes you suicidal. At least it made me suicidal. With CFD, only Nasdaq, bro. With CFDs, I traded with NAS. Yes, good place to take partials. Could continue back towards previous day close, but I think it will struggle to retrace much further. Yeah, I agree with those. Previous day close is right here, which is also current daily open. But sometimes price, especially when price is expanded too much like this. Let me close the indicator and remove the drawings. Open it again. Okay. This is our previous day close level. It's around here. Sometimes price can't reach to it and turns back from these Fibonacci levels. But seeing the closure of this candlestick and considering the things I was mentioning, I believe price might come to this level. 800. Let me do it like the profitable loser does. The same. He does something like that. Targets here after this reversal. Nice approach, but I will use this level. 0.3. About 800. Let's see, where is it? Is it around here? Yeah, it's around here. So where's my target? My target is way above that level. Oh, this is too slow, man. If this if it was possible, I I would close half of this one too, but unfortunately that's not possible. They should create something smaller than micros, I guess. Give me a second. What do you guys think? Should I carry this position? Should I leave this a runner? Or should I close it? I will do what you guys tell me to do. I believe I should carry it. Just to see the possibility. Good morning. Good morning, Toxenit. Welcome to the stream. I hope you are doing well. If price comes to previous day close, it will be a doji candle. Do you guys believe that today's candlestick turn into a doji? Is it possible to see a candlestick like, I don't know, this one? Do you guys believe today's candlestick might turn into this? What do you think? Let me know. You are welcome, Mr. Everglow. Thank you for joining. Goodbye. It was really nice to have you here. Thank you for participating. Have a great day ahead. I'm doing really good. To Zenit. To Zenit. Did I pronounce that well? What is my target? Well, my target, let me look at it. Let me. My target is the midpoint of this weekend gap and maybe high of this weekend gap, right at this level. This is my target. But this target is for this week. I mean, I believe price might come back to this level this week, but I'm not entirely sure about today, this day. I mean, today it might stuck in somewhere, and then I mean today it might receive some kind of reaction, some kind of pullback around maybe this level, maybe this midpoint, maybe even this older weekly gap that comes from here. As you can see, it has been working as a nice support and resistance level. So price flipped it, and when price was flipping it, it ignored it sometimes, but now it has some imbalance and price might wanna use it. And currently it's not just about the targets, it's also about the structure as well. I mean the structure about this high over here. I don't want to see price accumulating and then starting to leave imbalances below. I believe price is currently holding up these levels. Look at this regular trade hours. Oh, this is a nice target to midpoint of current RTH gap. Okay, let me close this indicator. I don't know, I would rather see price fulfilling this gap, but I don't know if price can do it today or if it leaves doing that to some other day. Right now I don't like the way it looks because it made a failed swing. After the failed swing it closed below this low. After closing this low, price made another lower high. This failing swing is a lower high, right? After the lower high, a consolidation broke below it. Right now price seems like leaving an imbalance. If price leaves an imbalance after this price candlestick closes, I mean if imbalance forms here, I will close the position. What do you think about this idea? Targeting some amount of money. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Did it leave an imbalance? Yes, it is. It did. I am exiting at the imbalance. Right at 400 points, 200 points and $400. I exited at bearish imbalance. Sold it. I believe this is still going higher. I believe new high of today is going to come, but I think price might do something like that, a deep retracement and then chop a little and then turn back higher during the PM session on here. Something like this is possible. So I quit the position. If I expect price to come this deep near my entry level, there is no need to carry this position. If I really want to carry it so much, I can just wait price to retrace back towards this consolidation area to this level. If price comes back to this level and then turns back higher, maybe I can then look for long setups, but I believe I already took some nice profits, even though I took some losing positions. Let's count the losses. One loss over here, second loss over here, third loss over here. I lost 3 positions and win 1. 25% win rate. With 3 loss, I lost about $300, I guess $300 with 3 losses, and I made almost 8,000 with 1 win, which is good, I guess. Nice risk management, good trade. I'm going off for a while. Good trades. Thank you. You said I don't know if this gonna do this today or tomorrow. Also, you said that you can see fail to make new high, so that's why you shouldn't carry. Yeah, this is good idea. I believe. Yeah. Thank you for pointing out to this. This is a good reason to not carry this position. Also, keeping the momentum is more important than making a little more profits. I mean, I wouldn't get rich if, I'm not gonna go broke if price keep going higher. I already took the profits and I managed a difficult day properly. I mean, today is actually something new for me because I used to get angry and blow accounts inside of these kind of days. But today I only focused on the flow feeling. I mean, I was in a flow state. I was just watching and understanding the price. I played it really well and really small to protect my capital. This is my maximum loss limit, which is pretty small. So I made my maximum daily loss $800. I mean, if I lose 4 trades in a row, 4 days in a row, 4 days, 4 losing streak days, then account is blown, and I can adjust that either. I mean, if let's say I took 2 losing days, I can adjust my risk, lower my risk to survive more. I don't know. It doesn't matter. What matters is I want to keep this momentum right now. So if I close if I stop trading today and if I accept these wins and not need a necessity to keep carrying the position, I am going to close a loop, right? And what was this loop? This loop was, I started trading, price was difficult for me, it was frustrating, I got clapped out several times, I thought it was going higher, I couldn't take partials, I couldn't decide, and then price kept expanding with momentum. I said, okay, I listened to the price instead of my bias, but price manipulated once again, reversed back higher, and then I just took a step back. In the past, when I get in doubt, I would zoom in 15-second chart. And if you have a problem, okay, and you zoom into that problem is going to get bigger, okay? It will get worse. So when I have a problem, when I get in doubt, when I get confused, I zoom out instead of zooming in to try and get the context, the narrative. By the way, this was a great partial point with this 20 simple moving average. Price might retrace, maybe reverse, I don't know. It's a still possibility, or consolidate and then make this flat like that and then go higher. And this is, since this is hourly chart, it might keep me waiting for a while, maybe until tomorrow, and I can't carry positions. So yeah, I believe this was a good trading session. I believe we all learned something new together. I mean, I learned something together. I improved myself. I learned that the higher time frame context is more important than the patterns that I memorized. Price doesn't know which pattern I use. Price doesn't care about it. Price does whatever it does, and I shouldn't get frustrated at price, angry towards price just because the pattern I tried didn't yield the result I expected, right? I should be more humble and I should be more objective, right? I mean, getting mad at price is really something meaningless. It's something stupid. It's not a living being. It doesn't hear you. It doesn't know you. It is not manipulating me. It is not mean or bad or good, right? It's an object. So I should be cautious about this kind of stuff. I have a tendency towards getting mad at inanimate things such as these AIs. I really get mad at them, or computers. I really get mad at YouTube. These errors makes me extremely angry. But I don't get mad at price yet. That's not a luxury. I have to be extremely humble, and I always consider that I can be wrong, I can fail. I'm a human. I'm a biological creature. I have a brain that has got tendency for too many cognitive biases, right? There's a reason world is chaotic place, and there are wars and disputes everywhere because human brain is not perfect. It has some flaws. Maybe those flaws were necessary when humans were evolving first, but that doesn't matter. What matters is I'm a human. I have an amazing machine inside of my skull. I have the ability to reprogram that skull, and when I successfully reprogram that thing inside my skull, I can turn into someone else entirely, some other character. I can be whoever I want, do whatever I want. I mean, I feel like this is a blessing, just knowing what exactly neuroplasticity is and what can we do with that is a blessing, because when we are raised, society has to put us in some kind of category to avoid the chaos in society, in the world, right? But the price of that is our freedom and our authenticity. I mean, society has to put us into some boundaries or into some mold, right? The schools has to teach us working hard, or the corporates has to teach us being a good employee, right? The government has to teach us not to kill other people, not to harm other people, things like that. But eventually, this kind of limitations, our parents has to limit ourselves, so our parents has to limit us so we don't harm ourselves, right? But all those limitations might stick, and at some point our brain might perceive it as our personality, and our brain doesn't really want to change that, because changing it consumes glucose, which is energy, and our brain thinks that energy is not abundant. Our brain still doesn't know that we can find food whenever we want. Food was energy. The calories was a really limited source in the past when humans first evolved, about 50,000 years ago, when first Homo sapien brains were I don't know where did I read that, but I read that our hardware, our brain, is 50,000 years old, right? 50,000 years. We are using a tool that was received its final update 50,000 years ago. We are still using the same brain when our ancestors were using when they were hunting mammoths or things like that. I don't know. I'm not an expert in this kind of stuff, but you get what I'm saying. So it's really a blessing to know that you don't need to be special, you don't need to be genius, you don't need to be anyone, and you can be anyone. I mean, you can change everything about yourself. So even being aware of this kind of stuff opens a lot new perspectives and makes everything a lot easier, because when I lost money, when I was bad at trading, that was not part of my identity. That was just some situation I was in. So if being an unprofitable trader cannot be my strict identity. It's not something unchangeable. I refuse to accept that as an identity, right? It cannot be my identity. I want to be a profitable trader, consistently profitable trader, and I will do my best to make that a reality. So, but what I have to do to make that a reality? I mean, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. But at the beginning, I didn't exactly know what it takes, right? I say I will do whatever it takes, but I don't know what it takes. If I knew what it takes, I would do it. So then I learned what it takes. It's just as simple as learning how to ride a bicycle. Just deliberate practice and some kind of unhealthy degree of stubbornness, I guess. Just it. Practice this shit every single day, and eventually your brain creates some neural pathways, and eventually your brain says, okay, this is our personality now. Okay, being disciplined is who we are now. So being disciplined are automated behaviors. When we panic, when we feel low energy, when we struggle, when we when we experience anything, we are going to revert to that state of being, the default state of being, which is being disciplined, right? I didn't force myself to act disciplined. I just made enough practice to turn my brain into a disciplined one, and now my brain thinks that we don't smoke weed because it is not who we are. We don't trade at Asia because it is not who we are. I really struggled holding myself not trading Asia. I was telling myself, okay, I don't trade Asia, don't trade Asia, don't trade. And when price opened, talk, bam, gum, I would just overtrade. I would just lose my account, and I would feel frustrated, sad, angry, and ashamed. I don't know. I would feel so awful. There was times, there were brief moments I really wanted to die, right? I just couldn't hold myself, and I was constantly asking myself, why do I do that? Why the fuck do I keep doing this kind of behaviors? Why don't I just stop trading Asia? Man, you can't do it. You are not good at trading Asia. It's not your style. It's not the place where you try, right? It's not the place where you backtest. You don't even look at the Asia price action. You have no idea what is going on in Asia. You just don't trade that. You only look at the price between this period. Why the fuck do you want to keep trying stuff over there? So eventually I learned why. I understood why. I quit all the substances. It was just my dopamine receptors were fried up because of weed, alcohol, social media scrolling, I don't know, PC gaming, wasting my time with bullshit, things like that. Especially scrolling and weed. Also, I was burnt out because I couldn't sleep well because of the alcohol, cigarette, and weed. All of those reduce the sleep quality, and sleep quality is one of the most important thing for a trader. You wouldn't believe me how my life and my trading performance, my perspective changed after I was careful about my sleep. It is one of the most important stuff. The reason is very simple, okay? When we trade, our brain releases, our nervous system releases adrenaline or noradrenaline, norepinephrine. Norepinephrine, noradrenaline, pretty much they are the same things. And cortisol. These are stress hormones, and what stress hormones does is they just mobilize our body, mobilize blood flow, things like that, prepare the muscles to move. Also, they mobilize our brain either. So we sit in front of the chart, our brain starts releasing hormones like adrenaline and cortisol and norepinephrine, and when we sleep, our brains resets them. Also, when we put too much cognitive efforts with charts, our brain uses glucose, uses, I don't know, sodium, things like that, and when our brain uses them to work pretty hard, there would be a metabolic waste. Okay? That metabolic waste is thrown out of body when we are sleeping. When we sleep, our brain shrinks its size up to 40%, then releases some kind of fluid from our wait a second, I forgot the word. I gotta look to translate. Sorry for that. The word is spine. Yes, spine. How did I forget that? Okay. Our brain release some kind of weird fluid from our spine. That spine goes into our brain, washes everything. Then then that metabolic waste goes into our blood from our brain to our blood, and that blood goes to our kidneys and our intestines, and then they are thrown out with the piss and the shit. So if we don't sleep properly, that shit stays in our brain, and that is not something we want as a trader. Also, when we sleep, we go into REM phase, REM sleep. During the REM sleep, our brain does something called memory consolidation. It just checks what went that particular day, what happened, without emotions attached to it. Okay? Brain processes all of the memories without emotions attached to it. Also, the brain reduces the amount of adrenaline, cortisol, and neuroepinephrine during that REM phase. If and when I didn't sleep properly, and when I smoke too much weed, what weed does, it suppresses REM sleep. At some point, I didn't dream entirely. My REM was entirely gone. I couldn't go into REM sleep. Imagine that. I open chart, I take some profits, I lose some. I end the day in profits, but it was a difficult day. Maybe I blow one account and get some profits, some payouts. It was eventually a profitable and good day, but it was difficult for me. I struggled a lot and I felt stressed. I made money, but I felt stressed. Then I slept back. My brain could not reset that stress because I am constantly smoking weed. I can't go into REM sleep back then, not right now. Right now, everything is fine. When I couldn't go into REM sleep, my brain couldn't reset that stress hormones, and I wake up the next next day with higher stress levels, and I have to deal with charts once again with that stress levels. So that is causing even more pressure, even more stress, and that stress accumulates over time for months and turns into a chronic stress. And chronic stress is something makes you feel suicidal. I'm not talking about planning to suicide. It's more scary than that. What I experienced was not, I never think about suicide in my whole life, right? I didn't think about killing myself, never. But during my worst times, and trading was going bad too, everything was falling apart. I was smoking more weed to make me feel better, but that weed was actually pulling me in a worse place, pulling me towards, and every day it was getting worse. And at some point, just spliffing a puff from that weed was hurting my brain. I was feeling pain. I was feeling literal pain when I was puffing it. So I quit it. I healed completely, almost completely. I don't know, but I feel myself really good right now. All those issues are gone, but I remember the times when, in my worst times, when I was closing my eyes and feeling really bad. Doesn't matter if I smoke or not. I was seeing images that I had a gun in my head and I'm pointing that gun towards my head. Out of nowhere, I was seeing this image. That was a fucked up feeling. And during those times, I was telling myself, okay, this is how you're feeling because this is a biological reality. You feel that way because of your dopamine receptors are fried up. You smoke too much weed. You are in a chronic stress. You can heal from it. Don't get scared. Don't even think about killing yourself. You are just sick right now. Think of it like a flu or any kind of illness, and you are going to heal. I was constantly reminding reminding myself things like that. And after 2 weeks, it started to get better, but I was still too fragile, especially when I was taking risks. My nervous system was still on high alert mode. So yeah, right now everything is going great because I really care for my health, my well-being, my mental health. It's much more important than anything in the world. I can even quit trading to protect my mental health. My mental health. Trading is good for me. That's why I'm doing it. If it made me feel if kept making me feel bad, this live section is making me feel good. Talking about this stuff making me feel good. If I didn't like it, I would never do it. Never ever. I would change it. And if that made me feel miserable, if it made me feel I wanna die, I wouldn't do that. The most important thing in this world for me is my mental health. So I am really cautious and careful about that. Careful about my sleep cycle. I try my best to sleep at the same time of the day. And let's say I couldn't sleep for a night. If I feel a little tired, I try to nap in the afternoon. Sleep is non-negotiable to me because it's something that I can't be in debt. I can say, well, I don't sleep for 2 days and I can pay that debt in the next days. It doesn't work like that. I have to sleep every day consistently. And that really affected my overall happiness, my performance in any kind of stuff. I am feeling a lot more satisfied with everything I do. I feel more comfortable in my own skin. I just wanted to mention this part of this kind of stuff either because when we look at trading psychology, everybody talks about the same stuff. They tell you, well, don't overtrade. Right, but how? Why do I don't know. I don't even know why I overtrade. Well, overtrading is self-sabotage, and you shouldn't do that. Okay, but why? Well, don't do it. Trading psychology video. Don't overtrade. Risk small. Don't take big risks. Trade with a plan. Dude, if I had a if my trading psychology was okay, I would already do that, right? That's not the thing I need to fix. So things like that. Nobody talks too much about this kind of stuff. Sleep, I believe one of the most important stuff. Diet, quite important. Movement, exercise. It doesn't be you don't need to do things like CrossFit, or you don't need to be an Olympic swimmer. You don't need to go to the gym. You just need to go out, move your body, especially if there's a sun out. It is something amazing. In these days, when I wake up, if I don't immediately go outside, I feel less motivated. I idle around more. I have got tendency to maybe look a little social media. I am just slower, right? And my brain is slower too. I feel more stupid. I feel less motivated, less productive. But let's say I woke up. I feel unmotivated, tired. I don't want to do anything. I don't feel like doing anything. But there's sun outside. I say, well, I don't feel like anything. I don't feel like doing anything, and I want to feel like doing something. So I go out, just start walking under the sun. Just 10 to 20 minutes. That's enough. I'm feeling pumped. I want to do stuff. I want to create something maybe. I want to read a book. I don't know. I want to work out, things like that. Just go out, see the sun. That's it. Even if it is cloudy, move your body. Just somehow move your body. You might do yoga, I don't know, weightlifting, calisthenics, whatever you want to do. Just move it. There is nothing, you can't do it wrong, okay? All you have to do is just move. It really feels good, especially during the days when you are feeling down, unmotivated, etc. I used to smoke weeds to reduce the trading stress. I would, for example, I would blow an account. I would call my cousin and I would say, "Hey cousin, how are you doing?" Or he would call me, "How are you feeling?" Cousin, I blow an account and I am feeling down a little. I made mistakes that I shouldn't have. And my cousin would tell me, "Well, okay, come here. I got something for you that might make you feel better." I would say, okay. And I would smoke. That smoke would make me forget the issues. And I did that for a while. And in the short term, if you are feeling stressful or anxious, weed might very well heal that stress. In the short term, I mean, for acute stress, weed might be used as a medication. But medication, yeah. But if you keep constantly use that, your brain's dopamine receptors get fried. Also, the endocannabinoid system inside our brain gets fried, and our sleep cycle gets disrupted. That in the long term, that creates even more stress. So I promised myself one thing. I told myself, if I am going to do something, if I'm doing a fun activity, I'm doing for fun. Only for fun and nothing else. If I am trying to cope with stress, cope with negative feelings, I am never allowed to do fun stuff. I can play computer games if my aim is just to have fun. But if I am trying to forget about a bad feeling, then I cannot play with computer games. If I had a bad trading day, I cannot drink alcohol. I'm not allowed. I can drink alcohol only when I am maybe on a vacation, maybe I'm on a nice social occasion, which something that doesn't happen in these days because I'm only focused on the work, focused on the job. But let's say I went to a vacation in the summer and I saw the old friends, I can drink with them for fun and to spend time with them. But I am not allowed to drink alcohol to drown stress, to drown sorrow. If I'm feeling stressed, the things I can do is maybe meditation, maybe talk to someone, maybe read a book, go out, take a walk, go to the gym. Okay? The things I do when I am stressed has to be something that heals stress in the long term, not just short term. If I'm going to do fun activity, I have to do it for the fun's sake. And if I'm doing to coping activity, I have to do it for coping. Things like that. This perspective or this principle really helped a lot, both with my trading and with my life in general. I'm getting notifications on your live scales. I need to catch it tomorrow. You can think of it like that. I am doing the live streams every single day in weekdays. I also plan to make some live streams on weekends too, for backtesting and studying together or talking about this kind of stuff more. The really important stuff, the psychology, how to do, how to study, how to change yourself, how to change your perspective, how to become, how to become, how to learn to become someone else so we can become a real professional trader. I'm not talking about the gurus you see on Twitter. I'm talking about the top class trader, best of the world, right? Because it's possible. It's just some kind of identity that you can achieve by what? Deliberate practice. So I really enjoyed this session. It was a good trading day and price just kept chopping after it hit our target. It kind of seems like it wants to go higher, but I still don't know if this launch low would be taken. Launch seems like a full consolidation, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that on PM session. And this 200 simple moving average is forming likely either as well. So seeing something like that wouldn't be a big surprise. I am not going to take any more trades today. This closed on loss. Okay, that's fine. And this one is in some nice profits. That's great either. That's great as well. So I'm done for today. And I am a little tired. I mean, my throat is getting sore, so I'm closing this day here. Closing this session here. What did AJ tell? Oh, AJ was talking about trading, but we didn't see that. Sorry about that, AJ. I got carried away with the trading psychology stuff. Our daily target. Yeah, no. I don't look at the amount of money. Okay, I guess that's it for today. We are done here. If you have any questions, you can ask them in Twitter DMs. I would be more than happy to support you, help you, or just answer your questions. You can just hit me just to socialize either. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for joining this one. I really enjoyed it. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day ahead. Goodbye.